don't think we've reckoned with just how bad the political media propaganda bubble has been. I've been paying attention to all this Purple Revolution stuff, and I've noticed some subtleties in the way people are talking about it that leads me to believe there's a bigger problem than any one of us have realized. We have people from the right saying, I can't believe the media and the politicians lied to us this bad to divide us. And this underlying assumption that must be happening to everybody. Coupled with, this is not at all what I voted for. And I don't want to apologize because I honestly didn't want to vote for this. And I've started to wonder, what if some of them aren't lying about that? What if, even if they were to stay informed, watch the news, or look stuff up, they were being shown a certain vision of reality, and the closed loops of church communities or rural towns would just reinforce those walls. And there might be a very deep miscommunication here that we can work on. On the left, we would call them all racists and bigots and stuff because that's what it appeared to us to be. These people irrationally out of nowhere, hating groups of people, even attacking them sometimes. And even something like January 6th seemed like butthurt, out of nowhere, irrational rage at being sore losers and knowing that. But I think we've underestimated the degree to which people on the right have honestly been shown a worldview where they think they are desperately getting justice against absolute criminals and people who are coddling criminals. The stakes were so high and they were just trying to fight for justice in some grand civil war. Just conditioning in and out every day. The more they try to look up any answers, the more they get into it. I think the left has a lot of problems in its media too, but they're not necessarily the same problems. Because the right has a lot more money and funding and investment into their media spaces. That's pretty indisputable. Because the super rich, selfish people are voting for the party that gives them zero taxes. We have not reckoned with how effective that machine they've built has been. The left media sphere has failed, but has done something different. Because no one likes left media spheres. The only mainstream popular news channel left with like a center-left media lean would be, NBC? But it doesn't have the same commitment as something like Fox News. And they're not pushing a message nearly as strong or as focused or motivated as Fox News. The problem of why everyone hates left-leaning news, especially people on the left, is because it's fussy, it's dragging its feet, it doesn't stand for anything, it's ineffective, it's whiny, it's self-destructive. We don't win, we don't get anything done. There's a misery to it. There really isn't a vision of a country to be a part of and to be proud of. There isn't a movement there. For a decade, it's been more or less just fussing about the new ways Trump broke the rules, which gets views and clicks. People are upset and scared and worried. But even when there's a Democrat in office, the left-wing media will undermine them too. The widespread belief is that the people in charge of those media companies have more to gain from Trump winning and being in office because then there's more to write and fuss about. We're not friends or allies of the Biden administration in the least. The establishment left has not had any passion or vision for America in a very, very long time. The more culturally popular ways to get news on the left are through like comedy talk show hosts who can at least have fun about it. So like Colbert or John Oliver. That's not really establishment, right? Not in the same way as like a news channel. It's weak. There's nothing there. And this is reflected in left voters who struggle with a lot of apathy. And the far left actually spends most of its time hating on Democrats, even more than conservatives or Republicans. And the far left specifically doesn't vote at all. They shame people away from voting or doing anything. It's a lot of young people making excuses for not doing anything new and scary. But the left is full of exhausting nitpicking on everything all of the time. It's defeatism, and it's shown in the latest election. There's problems in media spaces all around, but I don't think it's that everyone was sold a story in the same way. Left hasn't really been sold any story. We know our establishment is old and out of touch and refusing to hand over the reins of power to the next generation. And I think a lot of us on the left are excited to work with a new batch of people who are willing to be goal-oriented and look to something greater and something that brings us all together and something to be passionate about, something to build, a vision. There is a lot we could learn from the right. We haven't had the creativity or the mental, emotional bandwidth to be or do or stand for anything beyond preventing abuses from Trump. From just being anti. And it's exhausting. It's tiring. So I'm excited to start working with some other people and build a bigger tent, one that's effective, true, honest, earnest, and does something for the average American. We can build a clear future together. I feel like the right was peddled a bad one, a lie, and the left just hasn't had one at all in ages. It's like Obama in 2008. We've kind of been culturally coasting ever since. I'll start talking more about what I think that vision should be soon. But those are my thoughts on this bizarre, asymmetrical, but always insufficient media background that everyone's coming from here. It all sucks. I think for different reasons, but it all sucks. I think we all want a country we can believe in and a country we should believe in.